This is News 8 from WOOD TV.
Now at 6, a wreck in Ionia County claims the life of a 10-year-old boy. We'll tell you what authorities say led up to the crash. And new tonight, movie theaters in trouble. We'll hear from a theater owner who says the future of his business is looking bleak during the COVID-19 outbreak. And life on the farm in the age of social distancing. We'll take you to an event in Ottawa County held earlier today. Good evening, everyone. I'm Justin Kollar. We want to begin with the latest coronavirus numbers here in Michigan. Today, the state has recorded an additional 154 deaths linked to COVID-19 for a total that now surpasses 4,000. The state noted 75 of those deaths were discovered from reviewing the death certificates to find any that were not previously reported. The outbreak continues to be concentrated in and around the Detroit area. In our own area, Ottawa County recorded an additional death, bringing the total in that county to 18. Berrien County has recorded 3 additional deaths, bringing their total to 18 as well. Statewide, 851 new cases have been confirmed, bringing the total to more than 43,000. The state estimates more than 15,000 people have recovered from COVID-19, meaning people who are still alive a month after the onset of the illness. These numbers come after a week in which Governor Whitmer moved to extend Michigan's state of emergency due to coronavirus now through May 28th. This sets up a likely legal challenge from the Republican-led legislature. The state of emergency is separate from the stay-at-home order, telling people to avoid going out, which is in effect through May 15th. It's also separate from an executive order that closed theaters, entertainment venues, gyms, bars, and restaurant dining rooms, which is now in effect through May 28th. Whitmer is, however, starting to ease some restrictions on businesses. Landscapers and plant nurseries have reopened, and construction and real estate companies may go back to work on May 7th with new safety measures in place. Other news we're following tonight. State police are investigating an Ionia County crash they say killed a 10-year-old boy. State police say it happened just before 9 o'clock last night on Clinton Trail Road. That's just west of Tasker Road in Odessa Township. Troopers say a 33-year-old driver lost control of his vehicle, causing it to roll several times. The 10-year-old boy from Lake Odessa was a passenger in the car. He died in the crash. The driver and a 9-year-old girl who were also in the car are expected to survive. Speed and alcohol use are believed to be factors in this crash. Police did not specify what the relationship was between the driver and the children involved. No names have been released so far this evening. And a man was arrested after police say he led them on a high-speed chase in Kalamazoo County. Deputies say they responded around 6 o'clock last night to a home north of 36th Street after a tip about possible drug sales and stolen property there. Deputies then saw someone leave the home in a vehicle that matched the description of a stolen car. The driver wouldn't pull over for police, and a chase began, eventually ending with the driver surrendering in a cornfield. Deputies later found meth, guns, and counterfeit money in the home. They're still investigating tonight. Now let's take a look at your weather. It's been a beautiful spring-like day here in West Michigan. I even say almost a summer-like day. So how are things going to look for Sunday? Meteorologist Ellen Baca joins us now to let us know.
Hey, Justin. Unfortunately, coming up, we're going to be showing you just how dry we stay for the coming week.
Well, we're certainly looking forward to tomorrow. Thank you, Ellen. Turning now to national coverage of the COVID-19 crisis. Some of the nation's healthcare workers are getting encouragement from above, while on the ground, nearly 36 states are starting to reopen businesses and lifting their stay-at-home orders. Meanwhile, a battle is brewing between Congress and the White House over a key coronavirus advisor. NBC's Chris Pallone reports. We'll bring you a portion of NBC Nightly News' coverage right here on WOOD TV8. A pair of family-owned movie theaters are now in financial trouble. The owner of the Fremont and Harbor Cinemas say he could end up shutting down both theaters for good because of the recent economic shutdown. He says money from the federal government aimed at keeping small businesses like these afloat is running out. So he started a GoFundMe to try and keep the movies playing in Fremont and Muskegon.
A lot of businesses are in this position now to where, without a plan in place or some kind of guideline that we know that we have to reach in order to reopen, it's kind of a scary situation to where we don't know how long it is going to go on.
The theaters have raised more than $7,000 towards their $15,000 goal. Grand Valley State University is preparing for face-to-face learning and living in the fall 2020 semester on campus. The university's president says plans are underway now for learning and living scenarios that will help safely accommodate students after the coronavirus outbreak. 3 learning options are being developed right now for courses: fully online, a hybrid model, and the traditional face-to-face teaching. The university will make a final decision about their fall term by the end of this spring semester. People at Visser Farms in Ottawa County spent the day getting a unique sight while still social distancing from one another. News 8's Dana White has more from the event. Coming up after a public appearance after weeks of speculation. More about the return of North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un after rumors about his failing health. And a restaurant ripple effect, how businesses closing because of COVID-19 are impacting the overall economy. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un has made his first public appearance in nearly 3 weeks. This follows speculation that he had been seriously ill following heart surgery. NBC's Cal Perry reports from London.
Plant in the garden until about Mother's Day. That's about when we get past the frosts and freezes here in West Michigan.
Well, good to know. Not a bad way to start the month of May, as you said, with warmer days and sunshine on the way.
Yeah, we'll take it.
Thank you, Ellen. State election officials have agreed to allow blind voters to use software to complete an absentee ballot in local elections this Tuesday. The deal, filed in federal court, is a temporary fix in an ongoing lawsuit. Blind voters will have an opportunity to request an absentee ballot typically reserved for military personnel or citizens who are out of the country. The ballots can be completed using electronic reader software. They still must be mailed or delivered to local clerks. Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson says she's confident a long-term solution can yet be found. The French government is building what officials are calling a Stop COVID app to track the spread of the coronavirus. However, about the app, concerns are coming from the United States, Google, and Apple. They've all sounded the alarm over authorities' intentions to store people's data on a centralized server to better track the spread. France is about 2 to 3 weeks ahead of the United States when it comes to virus containment measures. Developers and coders are working around the clock to make sure that the app is ready in time for the easing of that country's lockdown, which is on May 11th. Some U.S. governors are beginning to allow businesses in their states to reopen after coronavirus restrictions, but their power is limited by a blunt fact of economics. While America may be divided into 50 states, it soars or sinks as one. Katie Tur has more about this business ripple effect. Coming up, he's the comforting face we could all use right now, and no, it's not Bill Steffen. Santa Claus spreads some early holiday cheer during this tough time. Well, as many parents of young children will tell you, this is certainly a challenging time. Kids are out of school and events, sports, birthday parties too are all canceled. So one man is working hard to help lift their spirits, and as Megan Pringle tells us, he's one jolly old elf. That was Megan Pringle reporting. Santa says parents have offered to pay him, but he always tells them no. He says this is his gift to the kids instead. Santa recommends donating to a local food bank or charity, a move sure to get you on the nice list this year. And coming up, our coverage of the coronavirus outbreak continues. We'll bring you the latest updates from NBC Nightly News when we come back.
This is News 8 from WOOD TV.
Good evening, I'm Justin Kollar. We want to get started at 6:30 with the latest coronavirus numbers here in Michigan. Today, the state has recorded an additional 154 deaths linked to COVID-19 for a total that now surpasses 4,000. The state noted 75 of those deaths were discovered from reviewing the death certificates to find any that were not previously reported. The outbreak continues to be concentrated in and around the Detroit area. Statewide, 851 new cases have been confirmed. That's bringing the total to more than 43,000. The state estimates more than 15,000 people have recovered from COVID-19, meaning people who are still alive a month after the onset of the illness. NBC Nightly News has been following the latest on the coronavirus today. We want to bring you to that coverage now. Much more to come here on the newscast, including an apology over what many parents are calling an offensive lesson at one local school, and a new challenge for one grocery store employee during the pandemic, how he overcame it. Portage Public Schools officials are apologizing after a student project meant to teach about slavery backfired in a big way. News 8's Barton Dieters talked to district leaders.
Kind of chilly even with the sunshine next week.
Sounds like a good night maybe to have a bonfire or
Oh
something.
yeah, great idea. Way to put a positive idea out there.
I might do that when I get off work. Well, thank you, Ellen. Coming up, bridging a communication gap during this pandemic, how a deaf grocery store employee was able to overcome some new difficulties. Well, as more and more people are starting to wear face coverings in public to prevent the spread of COVID-19, an unexpected issue popped up for a deaf grocery store employee in Washington state. But as Catherine Cook reports, thanks to the help of his coworkers, he's been able to overcome this new challenge. Thank you so much, Ellen. Well, that'll do it for us at 6. We're back later tonight at 10 on WXSP and at 11 right here on WOOD TV. And remember, you can get the news anytime at woodtv.com and on our mobile app. Have a great night.